Dr. Jennifer Robertson, Executive Dean of the Poinciana Campus for Valencia College.
Hi, everybody. My name is Dr. Amaris Vasquez. I'm the Community Outreach Manager for Valencia College Poinciana Campus.
So we're just going to share some information about the campus from past semesters and this semester. We're going to talk about some student demographics, how our students get enrolled, our new virtual student life in our global epidemic situation, and some course information on our continuing education programs. So this is a snapshot just so you can have some understanding of our student demographics. We are actually the only Valencia campus that is minority majority. So the majority of our students are minority, come from a minority background, either in race or ethnicity. And you can see here that more than half of our campus is made up of Hispanic students from the Poinciana region. And we do have students that come into the Poinciana campus from Polk County as well. We have a few students that will come from as far away as Seminole County, but that is just less than a handful. But most of our students come from within Osceola County. We have a number from Osceola and then also from Polk. You can also see our numbers are primarily female students, and we've had a transition of when we opened the campus, we were mostly full-time, and we actually have been advising students into more part-time schedules. There was kind of a misunderstanding as to, you know, the course load of what it involves in terms of having a full-time college schedule, and a lot of our students work part-time or full-time jobs. They take care of children or siblings, so we really needed to kind of help advise them to take less classes within a semester. So in terms of the degree program offerings, we have at Valencia the Associate of Arts degree, which is our general studies, which is what we would advise students to follow that pathway if their intention is to transfer to a four-year university, whether within the state of Florida or outside of the state of Florida. We also offer Associate of Science degrees. At the Poinciana campus, students can complete the Culinary Arts Management program, and then in the other degree areas, Business Administration, Criminal Justice, Hospitality, just to name a few, students can start their degree at the Poinciana campus, and then a lot of the coursework would then be online, or they could take classes at another institution. Valencia also offers a number of bachelor degree programs. So for example, the baseball program is fully online, and the other programs can be taken mostly online. So you can start with an associate's degree and complete a bachelor's degree in some program areas. In terms of the steps to enrollment, we've really been trying to help our students get through the steps to enrollment in our new virtual environment. We, like many other all other institutions across the country, had to convert all of our offices and our courses from basically from 1 week to the next last spring from face-to-face to online. So we've had to create new processes and procedures and communication strategies for our students. So this is basically an outline of the steps to enrollment at Valencia. And some of the steps involve submitting documentations, kind of back and forth with an advisor or with a student services representative. So in some cases, these steps can be completed rather quickly. In other cases, it could take weeks to get through the steps to enrollment. So we really try to help our students along the process. and we've added a lot more student outreach to help our students get through all of these steps so that they would be able to start classes on time. Our classes for the fall began on Monday, and now we have a part of term that we are still registering students. Students can take the new student orientation to start classes for our TWK term, which is a 10-week term that starts September 28th. And then we even have an 8-week term that starts in October for a limited number of course offerings. So that is our steps to enrollment. And here you can see the important deadlines coming up in terms of our TWK courses. And then we will start at the Poinciana campus. We'll start registering for spring shortly. Right now, this semester, we are fully online at the Poinciana campus, but several of our other campuses at Valencia are offering mixed mode courses for labs like engineering, science, culinary, physical education, dance. So those are some of the offerings that we are doing in a face-to-face. It's actually a mixed modality. Amadis, could you go back one slide? And so for the spring semester, a decision has not been made yet in terms of whether we're going to be mostly online. And a decision will be made at the end of September, beginning of October. So even though you may see a course schedule out there, that decision still needs to be discussed internally. So I'm going to just turn it over to Amadis.
All right, so we talked a whole lot about enrolling and getting classes going, and of course we have tuition and fees. Here we're very proud to announce that we are one of the lowest in cost of attendance per credit hour. Per credit, the cost is $103.06, which averages about $312 roughly, $309 to $312 per class. To register for, and typically students would go part-time. So we're, as of course, we ask our students to claim the Florida residency and submit their documentation so that they can certainly take advantage of that cost of attendance that's affordable for many of our students. Some of the types of financial aid that we have our students receive are Pell Grant. So if our students complete the FAFSA on FAFSA.gov, you know, many of our students do receive Pell Grants. Last fall, over half of our students were Pell Grant-based students, which of course essentially means it's funds that they don't have to pay back. You know, they're not loans, but they're grant dollars provided by the federal government. There's also a federal work-study program that several of our students, we actually have 2 of our students in our campus administration office that work with us on the federal work-study program. Essentially, it's a program that they would opt into once they apply for FAFSA, and they are eligible to work up to 20 hours per week with us, and also receive aid. They certainly have to be eligible for FAFSA to receive aid. We have other students who receive scholarships. Those might be internal or external scholarships. We as Valencia College offer through the Valencia Foundation, we offer scholarships that students can apply for, but we do have other students that do come in with scholarships. For example, the Poinciana Area Council, right? We provide a scholarship among other maybe external scholarships in the community or national scholarships that our students are able to pay for their tuition and fees. And use those dollars to pay for those tuition and fees and room and board and other things. There's also the Florida Bright Futures Scholarship, which we have quite a few students who do come in with that Bright Future Scholarship. It really, of course, depends on some of their familial circumstances and situations. but we certainly do have many of those who do come in with the bright futures. And we typically say that the last resort is student loans. We have many of our students who may be, of course, eligible for FAFSA, and whether they receive Pell Grant or not, they may also receive the eligibility to accept the federal loan, whether that's direct subsidized or unsubsidized loans. We certainly recommend to our students to maximize, of course, on paying their tuition, but not to try to exceed and accept all of it if they do and are eligible. Oftentimes, we also want to encourage our students to think about becoming debt-free by the time they finish with us over at Valencia, and not encourage too much debt. But of course, those are also available on a case-by-case basis based on their financial aid package. There's also the non-Title IV funding options. We have many students who are veterans who come back and they receive different education benefits that also may include spouses and children of disabled or deceased veterans. We also have state grants and scholarships, as I mentioned before, on behalf of the Valencia Foundation, that our students can also utilize those funds. And oftentimes those funds may cover, of course, covers tuition, but may cover books and kind of other expenses related to college. We have the DCF tuition waiver, again, depending on familial circumstance, and Florida prepaid, also depending on familial circumstance or any additional funding opportunities that may be available and granted to students. On the events and student life side, so we certainly had a very lively campus while we were in person. And this time around, we have shifted our efforts to online. We have two platforms in which we engage our students now. One is called Engage, the other is called Discord. And our students really engage in different events, whether they're multicultural, professional leadership, educational, social, or some sort of networking involved as well. It's a really awesome platform. They also launched a podcast, the first ever Valencia podcast, which is pretty cool and exciting. It's really kind of a student-led podcast now. It's called the Valencia Good Morning Valencia podcast. And we also have just many other virtual newsletters that also came out for our students to remain involved, although they don't have that social interaction in person, but they can still remain involved in a virtual setting. There's other clubs and organizations that continue involved virtually, like Student Government Association, our very own student government president, Sebastián Valenzuela, who he's one of our leading folks in the Valencia podcast, and has also been super active with our students, not just at Poinciana, but now college-wide, which is really nice. We also have Valencia Volunteers, wellness ambassadors, and other clubs that essentially really care for a lot of our students. Wellness ambassadors talk about skills shops and other skills that our students need to be successful, both on and off campus, and also professionally and personally. And they do this through, again, now they are utilizing Engage and Discord to be able to carry out many of our awesome events. We have a virtual resource fair taking place this week, as well as a fair, an organizational fair that's going to take place soon too, to help engage many of our students. And on the non-degree side, we have the Center for Accelerated Training. It's the CAP building, sort of the shorter building next to the main campus building. We will have in-person programs there on site, which we're super excited to share. Those upcoming programs, the one coming up at the end of August is the Distribution Operations Technician. Classes will begin at the end of August. We also have the Commercial Truck Driver Class A license, and that'll take place mid-September, and the Carpentry that'll take place starting in November. There are scholarships available for these kinds of programs, and certainly we included here the website if folks are interested. There are some of these programs too that some of the credits may be utilized and experiences that may be utilized towards degree side and degree programs, but we certainly encourage any of our community folks over at Poinciana, if you are interested, you can certainly visit that website and check out more programs.
I just wanted to add that we now have a Facebook group and a web page designed for parents. So if you go to the Valencia website and you search for the parent Facebook page or the parent website page, we're offering a lot of information to parents. One thing we noticed in our current circumstances is really this has become a partnership with parents in order to help students get through the registration process. So we have a lot of parents that are reaching out to us, posting to Facebook, texting, messaging, emailing to help their students get through the process and get set up with classes and textbooks and ready for school for the semester. So we are very happy to continue to help parents. I have the website there listed on the slide, but if anybody needs to reach me, my email is jrobertson, ROBERTSON, at valenciacollege.edu. And you can also reach me at my cell, 407-967-5888. And I am very happy to assist any parent or student that needs help in the process. So thank you very much.